Okay, well, you know what? We can do it on the show. It's content.
All right,
Speaking of
if you
which,
want to wait.
yeah. Yeah. Well, shoot. Hit me with the question.
No, let's wait. Like you
Well, let's
said, it's
pretend that
good
we're live.
content.
This is,
What
I'm,
does what does the rest of the peanut gallery think? Because they were here when I was just running my trap.
I'm I'm of two minds on it. It's something. My opinion changes as the cost goes down of a card. My opinion on
I
whether or
need,
not it should be
I
proxied
need,
also
I need,
goes down.
I need more information. When you say proxy, do you mean a stand-in for another object, like when you put the different back faces on a card?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, then I'm for it.
I'm generally in favor of it, but on like a principal
I just
matter, I
I
understand.
have
Plus,
a
they
I
already
have
they
a
already get all
particular
of the stuff they need from you. Just
I have a
from the
very
beginning.
particular question about it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like, how does it make it different from being like, oh, I'ma play poker with a pinochle deck?
What?
Like, they're legal cards,
Is it?
like, and
Yeah, I
if
mean,
if you're playing a
Have you
game
seen
for
how expensive
money,
these cards get?
if if you're playing a particular, because when you talk about like what makes a game, one of the one of the things you have to discern is whether something is a game or a competition, because there's a difference between like whether there are real world consequences. And I would say like having a competition and bringing home a prize is a different kind of real, competition versus a
Well,
game.
owns everything that goes around that competition.
Like if
so
you're
so
playing, if you've got house rules and you're playing, if you're just playing with people, all right, maybe it's one way. But I, beyond the fact that you have to have like, okay, like if you couldn't play proxies, um something, what's the fucking exemplar they always use, like Black Lotus, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So let's say if you went into a casino and you like walk up to a magic table. Let's say everybody knows the chances of having a Black Lotus in your hand are like 60 865,000 to 1. I'm just picking a number out of my head.
It,
But
it's
let's just
it's
say
larger than
if
that, but
there
let's
was a
say.
dealer, if there was a dealer and you were playing against somebody else at that table and you got dealt the statistical whateverness of like the possible card deck, it makes a difference if you can just be like, nah, I got a Black Lotus in my back pocket, and you pull out like this like Xerox copy bitch and like
Sure. I
flop
do
it on the
actually. I have a
casino
very
table.
good thought on this, I think. And
But I
number
mean,
one,
do you understand
the
my question?
yeah, I do understand your question. So I
Thank you.
think
Okay. That's
the first and most important part of all of these things, all of these games or competitions or whatever, is the rules are pre-agreed to culturally. Like, it doesn't matter if we play with proxies, as long as we all agree that we're playing with proxies. If one
right.
person
There's
disagrees, the game is no longer valid.
agreement on what the rules are
So you
is
can't just
part of
walk
what
up and
makes
pull your
something a
Black
game.
Lotus out of the back pocket because that wouldn't have been a portion of the rules pre-prescribed, right?
Yeah. It's it it. I would readily agree to that. There's conditions on that card, but um, We'll say lightning bolt for the sake of argument, because that's one that's closer to Jenks. Like, I don't know, man. Maybe you should just buy some lightning bolts, right?
Yeah, they're like under $1.
There are
Like,
certainly playable editions under $1.
I'm of the opinion that if you're using it for quick testing, if we're blasting through games real quick and I'm like, I want to test this card in my deck. I don't know where my lightning bolts are. I don't have lightning bolts. I'm not unwilling to go get them. I just want to see if it's good. Obviously, to test if something is good before you spend actual physical money, by all means, proxy it the fuck up. And then you come next week with the same card, still proxied. Maybe in a week you probably could have found your lightning bolts. They're somewhere in my pile of stuff. And then, like, a month later, you're still playing the same deck with the same proxied lightning bolts. I'm at the point where I'm just kind of like, you should probably have just spent the $4 somewhere along the way and bought the lightning bolts.
You don't know they lie. You
I
don't know how
mean,
broken it
I
is.
mean, but if I'm playing with this
Sometimes it be
person week
real.
in, yeah. If I'm playing with this person week in or week out, by week number 4, I have offered them the lightning bolts.
Just get the fuck
Like,
out
I
of my
promise you, I have.
You're like, just
Uh,
take this basic tool.
Yes. This is a basic tool. Please just take it so that I
And
don't
so
have to see the proxies anymore. And
if they
they're not
choose
gonna.
not to take it and they
Then
keep
I'm
playing with the
frustrated.
proxies, then you raise an eyebrow.
Yeah, like, why are you
That's
doing
your
this?
limit.
There's
That's a very
it
specific.
also begins to start to be like, is there an alternative reason? Like, the proxies do have different thicknesses than typical magic cards, like,
it's not
weird little things
discernible.
like that.
It's depending.
It's not
Okay, depending on the
typically
proxies.
discernible.
Depending on the proxies, it's not discernible. I will say this: like the reason I don't buy my
Can I
proxies from like somewhere else is
can I
because
cut
they're
in
so
real
hard.
quick? It's 10:23.
Yeah, like I said,
Sure.
let's pretend that the show has been on for 7 minutes and that this was a backdoor way to have the conversation on the air. I don't think she. You guys got what I did, right?
Yeah,
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 totally.
yeah, yeah. You started
I
it.
get a little text message when the
Yeah,
show
you
goes
started it.
live, so.
Yeah, we've been live for this discussion.
I didn't know there was that much to go over with proxies. I just thought it was
Yeah. And
a
it's
big
just
issue.
like,
I mean, it
I
makes
don't
sense
have.
from like a fun perspective. You just gotta
Yeah,
have
and
some
look,
fun and throw some cards together.
if we're playing
Like
and you're
I probably don't
proxying
have
a
I probably
multi-thousand dollar card,
I probably don't have lightning bolts to be honest.
sure. But if we're proxying and if we're
Me,
playing and you proxy a multi-thousand dollar card, like,
yeah.
game, man. I'm not expecting you to shell out $1,000 for a card. I'm just not.
Yeah, but it's more free for all style. That's more.
Yeah, I don't like the dollar rule. There's a cost efficiency problem for the dollar cards, so like it does become cost inefficient to proxy dollar or less cards, right? Like that's
Yeah,
real.
you're like literally just doing it to spite.
Um, it literally becomes like it was more convenient to pay the extra money than it was to like go out and go online and then wait to do what I was gonna do anyway.
You'd have to start asking who hurt you.
Like that a lot of times
Who
when you
went out
see
of your
like
way.
because I proxy like I'll give you a proxy that you're gonna laugh your head off at or be like slightly annoyed at. I proxy punishing fire. That is a neat yeah, that is a niche card. But it would have been a pain in the ass for when I was building lands and testing my lands builds and like keeping my permanent like this is how I practice lands in case I ever get a hold of lands for a tournament or I decide that I'm gonna rent lands for a tournament because we make so much money streaming magic content proxied that I'm gonna go play with real
Right.
cards at a real event for other content, right? Uh it was more cost it was not cost efficient, but it was convenience efficient, and it's more convenient for me not to do that, especially if I'm gonna look for like red deck wins. That's the one like I don't know, there's a lot of weird variables in Magic, right? But like if I'm gonna address your original point, like you're at the Magic table at the Magic Casino where you can do this, you've most likely you're either playing limited, which bypasses the problem because you get what you get in limited, hence the name, or you're playing constructed and there's no dealer involved. You are the dealer. So it becomes like unlike poker at a professional casino where the deck is rigidly managed by the house overlooks what you've brought and makes sure it's legal for the tournament, and then you're allowed to participate with the thing you've brought. So you bear the entire cost of the competition on yourself. Like they pay for the hall, but they pay for that in part out of the money you're going to give them to show up and participate in their event, and you're trying to gamble, like you're playing to win money from them then.
Yeah.
Now, it'll run net negative for them to host the competition because the competitions are adverts. And they mitigate a lot of their loss, or they're supposed to anyway, through rent of vendors. Because vendors then show up and go, "Oh, do you need this do you need this card for your deck? We got 40 of them. Come on, man, give me $50 right now."
Yep.
Oh shit, did your
They
dragon
came
shield
with the
break, bro?
lightning bolts. They came with the lightning bolts, and they were charging $2 a piece for them
Yeah, that's what they tend to do with those. I mean, like if
because
I'm gonna,
they have the lightning bolts.
they have the lightning bolts and you need them right the fuck now. But
Yeah.
yeah, so like that's kind of the thing there. Um, like the multi, like I have a weird opinion on it. I think that anything that right now, like if you took a snapshot right now in time, just for the sake of arbitrary argument, if you took a snapshot right now of anything that costs $50 or more for a card, and said, "All right, that shit's on the reserve list. That's it. We're not printing any more of it ever. It's not going to happen. You're not getting reprints of this. This is done. These are collectibles now." I would be a lot happier, and if they did that every 5 years, I would be happier. And then if they changed the tournament structure to, yeah, man, you can just proxy it. These are investment pieces. These are
LG
NF
is in
fucking
the
pieces.
house.
Oh my God, is he showing up for work? I see. In classic LG fashion, can't understand a thing he says. Love it. That's my guy. So yeah, like I'm of the opinion that like Magic needs to be a game first, and to make it a game first, they either like, and this is a bold thing, but they either need to be like the decks need to be pre-made by the fucking vendors and rented, which is now happening, which is a lot more acceptable to me, but those prices going to have to come down on that because it's fucking rent. I don't own that deck. Or these
Well,
things need to be
and when you're talking about renting, isn't that kind of the way that like gambling works if you go to a casino? Like if you're playing a table game?
pretty close. Pretty close.
Hmm.
You know,
Gaming regulation has gotten a lot looser in some ways in the past decade, I'm just saying.
it has. It's gotten weird on doing it. Like they've gotten more, not weird, but more aggressive when it comes to kids, right? With the packs. Like Wizards and like card games are really at risk of getting themselves some hard regulator time for gambling with kids.
Vanity banned.
Yeah. I mean, how wrong am I really?
You're not that wrong.
That's what I'm saying. How wrong am I? Not all that wrong. They're
It is
playing
hyper addictive.
It's hyper addictive, and they're playing real close to the line. And Wizards keeps pushing just to see how much more can we get out of it before the regulators come down on me. And I don't.
I mean, do you think realistically it could be turned into a table game
No,
in a casino?
no.
In a casino? No. It could be played like poker on the TV.
It should be treated
Um,
like chess. Is what it should be treated like.
it is more akin to chess than it is to table game, though, for sure.
Yeah, it should be treated like chess. I mean, like just because your horsey pieces do different things doesn't mean your horsey pieces aren't just like horsey pieces with extra steps. So like they really need to start treating this game like chess, but like the catch there is in chess, who provides all the material for play purposes? It's the house, right? So
Right.
that's why like if you want me to absorb the cost of this, we got two options here. Either A, I can just proxy it so I can like when I win or have an underground sea, I can sell it to these ridiculous whales and so be it, right? Or B, I need to be able to afford an underground sea. Like it's just these two things are just in competition with each other, And then like the business cucks will default to, oh, I guess you just don't get to play. But like,
Business cooks.
what are we doing here with this? You know what I mean? Like Magic, like one of Magic's big problems right now is it is trying to be everything all at once to maximize profit. In the old days, like Legacy and Vintage still had like this price tag problem, but the price tag problem even back like 10 years ago, they were like, "Oh god, a Lotus is $8,000. There's no way we can reasonably expect people to show up with this fucking car payment or house payment and play a game with it. Like that's ridiculous. So we're just going to go ahead and let you proxy it." Um,
Which they did to
which they
great
did.
success.
And I'm pretty sure they still do, right? Like I don't think that's
Yes,
gone
they
away.
do, generally speaking.
I guess my fear is that there's enough dumb rich assholes that could just buy shit and show up and wreck everybody.
The intersection is talented rich asshole. Because a dumb rich asshole who shows up with a bunch of cards they don't know how to use, they get wrecked pretty comically.
I bait people who pay more for their deck all the time. That is not an uncommon thing. People
Fact.
pay a lot of money for their decks, and I definitely have the skill set to outplay. This is not like a braggadocious thing. This is like, I have logged 12 billion hours in this game.
Yeah.
You have to come hard. Like, you cannot. You're not. I'm not just gonna roll over you.
Walking into a Jedi Master. I've seen
Like,
that before.
yeah. I am not coming to fuck around. I am very competitive by my very nature. I know this game very well. I have outplayed many opponents.
Okay, so
Many.
what I hear you guys saying is that this is not a situation where a whale can just buy his way in and actually be competitive.
It helps, but it's not going to make the difference. You will be a middling player. If you're bad and rich, you will at best be a middling player.
You will do better than the bad and poor kid.
Yeah, for sure.
Mathematically. You will just crush that. Every time you will crush that kid in his dreams.
But you will probably do statistically worse than the good and poor player.
They have to be comically bad. Is it just the battle of just the worst players ever?
Yes.
Like, listen, I've seen it.
Yeah. Oh man.
I mean, but you're also both telling me that like you can at least buy yourself into mid-level.
You can buy yourself into elite formats.
You can buy yourself into elite formats. You can probably buy yourself into a mid-level. Like if you do the barest modicum of research and you're like, yeah, sorry. If you're just like, I bought the most current deck, you can probably play it and be a moderate performer.
Yeah. Without
but
a
it's just
amount.
There's an upper limit.
There is a statistical limit. Actually, this is a really fun anecdote. So one week I brought Jund, which in its era was the most expensive deck. Javi excuse me, I dead named you.
Nope. How dare you?
Javi, this guy I know.
If you wouldn't have said dead named.
Yeah. I dead named.
We can edit that out in post.
Sure.
Good.
Yeah, we'll get right on that.
So going back. So Jank so Jank kicked the shit out of me with a deck that was slightly less expensive called Naya at the time. The very next week, I was bored of playing Jund anyway, so I built Red Black Burn and kicked the shit out of him. And it was funny because his literal protest at the time, we were, fucking 10 years younger, right? He was like, why the fuck would you piece apart Jund for this nonsense? I was like, I don't know, man, I'm kicking ass here tonight. Like,
beat you, nerd.
Yeah, basically, I was like, I was good enough to beat you. And it was funny because if you price those decks in order, they literally got less expensive as they went. They just happen to be foils for the thing above them. So, like, just balling out on cards, just over investing in 4-color control in Legacy, I mean, just of like a Force of Will just beat some people. Some decks are like, I know 30% of the decks have Force of Will, but fuck it, I can beat the other 70 if I try hard, and they can win a tournament doing that. We see it all the time on MTG Top 8, like decks that are just like, yeah, I lose to Force, but not everybody plays Force. I got an in. Like they get trolled by the janky kid who's just so rich he brought Force of Wills, but that same kid dies to a wasteland, and a lot of people play fucking wasteland. If you don't know how to survive a wasteland, that motherfucker's gonna die, and that's a lot of blue decks that should by rights just be every card I play is the top quality in its mana cost. My curve is perfect. Fuck you. Those kids lose a lot because they bought their way into a good deck rather than like I was discussing playing Burn and Eternal Weekend. I'm on the fence about doing that in my first proper tournament in like 10 years literally. And but I know how to play Burn. Like Javi, or excuse me, Jank can attest. I'm so in magic mode right now. I'm sorry. Jank can attest. Like I'm not a bad Burn player. I'm actually pretty fucking good at Burn.
No, it'll be fine.
Yeah, like
You'll
in my
perform
hand,
moderately well,
yeah,
probably.
I will definitely beat. Like there are 3 people who, if they run into me at Eternal Weekend and I'm playing Burn, they're dead. Like not just because Burn showed up, but because I'm the person behind Burn. I'm good at Burn. I'm not I'm not Frank fucking Karsten. I'm not Jank Engels with Naya, but I am a goddamn good Burn player. So I'm kind of, kind of thinking about, as a side note, I'm kind of thinking, I'm really, I got a couple months to pick, but I'm really thinking about doing that. Because I think that's a walk-in event, yeah?
Yeah, and look, at the end of the day, you're not. Yeah, it is. You. If you're playing against a good player and they spent more money than you, they're probably going to have an edge on you. It really just is going to come down to it.
Yeah, unless you're playing the
But
exact foil to everything they're doing. They're.
but an edge in this game is not like,
Did you
oh,
say
they're
dope
guaranteed
ass
to win.
Burn player?
I am a dope ass Burn player. I stand by that statement. If I play, like, if you're not doing the exact thing that foils
Thank
Burn
you.
at every turn, you are in risk of getting fucked up, my friend. I don't give a shit.
And like an edge in this game to a better player is not like they're going to win every game we play. It's more like they're going to win 60 out of 40 games. That is a significant edge in this game.
60 out of 100.
Sure. Yeah. 60 out of 100 games.
They're going to win 60 out of 40. Yeah, that sounds like a good edge.
Yeah, they're going 60-40 against you. Like
yeah.
They have an edge. But it's not like unwinnable. There's very rarely that I sit down across from someone and I'm like,
game. They beat you in the next game while you're still in the same game.
The next 2 games.
We've seen it.
Shahrazaded twice.
Yeah. Fuck. I got wrecked. So yeah, that's like with the proxies and shit like that, like what proxies do is remove the variance of player skill, or excuse me, player access. They remove player access as a disqualifier to competition, which I'm kind of for. That's the thing about chess that's great, and that's the thing that Magic, like the reason Magic can't become chess, but just absolutely way more exciting, is precisely because Wizards profit and a lot of stores profit off of that accessibility problem. That's why Magic exists in the current state it is, where competition is at best precarious. And there's classes of players right now. There's the people who want to play Eternal Magic.
God, I wish I could get you to rewind and say that slower.
What's that? What did I say?
Classes of players.
I would have to rewind and write it down. Keep going.
There are classes
Keep
of players.
Keep spitting
right
knowledge.
Now. Yeah, I will. Thank you. But there are distinct classes of players. There are players who are frankly getting suckered in by what we call Type 2 or Standard, because Standard tends to be an unfun nightmare right now. Made up of, there's like a rock, paper, scissors of the 3 best decks, and then everything else is just trash. There's literally nothing else you can play, and if you can't afford those,
as a side note, I have been playing a totally different deck. You'd love it. It's Glissa.
Yeah.
Deck.
Uh,
Green black first strike death touch bitch.
yes, Lover. 3-3.
It's fun. It's fun. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's the
Can I
best
make
one. It's so
make a
good.
request? Can I make a request?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey Dan, can I get your impersonation of a very tough conservative?
I told that fucking lib I would make him shit in my pants. I would make him pull down my pants and shit in them, and then I'd rub his face in it against my ass and my shit, one on each cheek. But then, but then a purple hair girl said that she wouldn't be my trad wife, and I was really hurt. And now I want all colleges to be banned unless they teach purple hair girls to wear dresses and 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 be trad wives. Then I saw this liberal dude, and I was like, I'm gonna fuck you in the ass. I'm gonna commit a literal rape right now. I'm gonna kidnap your kids and rape you while I do it. And then, and
I'm
then,
really interested in the inline filtering that turns off certain words but lets rape happen.
you want me to start using that filter?
No, you're already using a filter. Like there's certain words that like get cut off,
Well,
but
it's because I'm a tough conservative boy, but then Barbie said that I'm a toxic man, and it's hard to talk about because I was triggered.
I
It's the
Yeah,
hardest thing in the world to be a white male conservative these days, according to white male conservatives.
yeah. Who spend all of their
So
time crying about fucking Barbie and toys
so
from the
hard.
1980s.
Ben Shapiro that day Ben Shapiro meets DMX.
I told those Mexicans to go back to fucking Colombia or wherever the fuck they're from. And then they said that Mr. Potato Head didn't have a penis.
I'm just telling you that the green M&Ms.
And then
He,
and then
he
they
had
said
boots on, so it
th-
was clearly a woman. DMX, did you fuckers?
and then they took the boobies off the green M&M and I cried and they didn't listen to me even though
You
I
sound like a
cried.
bitch to me.
There's
Ben,
some mean to me.
Ben Shapiro.
Yeah, that's Ben Shapiro in a nutshell. Palestinians don't build; they like to live in feces. And then Anna Kasparian said that my balls were small. And then
It sounds like all of them, but their crying would be slightly different.
yeah, Matt Walsh out there right now. And then I tried to grope the trans girl, and she said it was rape. So I said trans girls aren't even girls, and you can't rape boys. Mm-hmm. Like these guys, like they talk like they're real fucking. They're like, like Ben Shapiro's like, come in my house. Bet if I came into your house, you would cry. Your wife would have to try to fight me off. Like that's just a fact. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not afraid of you holding the gun because I don't even think you can lift it. It weighs like 10 pounds. You'll fucking fall over. Like that Weeble will fucking fall down. You know what I'm saying? That's a defective Weeble right there.
It'd be
Gyroscope broke.
it'd be like it'd be like a slapstick artist, like one of those clumsy slapstick artists,
Yeah, it look like a Charlie Chaplin flick.
versus like the Equalizer.
Yeah, like that Charlie Chaplin bit. That's exactly
Just
right.
be dropping the gun like ah,
Boop, boop.
just shoots himself with it. And you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, you're like, you fucking cartoon jackass. Fucking, yeah.
The home invader feels bad, so
well,
they're
no,
gonna like walk
you
away.
but you also mentioned the Kubrick stare thing, and I'm trying to find the exact uh one that I think is a competitor.
Oh, yeah. They do. Well, that's how they talk when they're like talking about it when they're like, okay, hold on. The Kubrick stare, right? The Kubrick stare where your head's down and you look up. You know what I mean? Like, fucking
Full
Full Metal
Metal
Jacket.
Jacket. Yeah.
or Clockwork Orange or whatever, right? Where it's like that's where he likes
Oh
to
no,
do his villains.
100% exactly. That's
Yeah.
what they're talking about. But there's this one picture, and I'm flipping through my fucking phone, but it's Benny Shapino. And I think he might have like an apron on and
We all
like
thought he was
making folded
autistic. Is he
hands.
just doing the is that
Well,
his
no,
thing?
but here's the thing. I know I have it on my phone somewhere. Like he's doing this thing and he's supposed to be like cooking and relatable to the humans, but he's doing the dead on Kubrick stare.
Yeah.
And
I thought that was his autism. You're telling me he's actually making a decision to do that, and he's that much of like I really have thought this guy was
here,
autistic the whole time. Like full spoilers, no disrespect to actual autists, right? I thought he was also an actual autist
but what does that have to do with anything?
because I thought he was doing that because he just didn't understand normal social cues because of his autism. You're telling me like he thinks he's tough when he does that?
Wait, who does?
Ben Shapiro.
No.
You're telling me that
Shabibo.
is a cognizant decision, that is not just like an involuntary like
Wait, so we're gonna put the photo there.
I always thought he was a crisis actor. Like they always like to accuse people of being.
yeah, I thought no, I thought he was an autist. I thought he was just an autistic kid they paid like conservatives
Nah,
love to do that. They love to
like,
take
That
somebody
doesn't. But that doesn't give you fucking deniability. Like that's not.
I didn't
It does
say
for
I didn't say
conservatives.
it,
Who
I
the
didn't
fuck
say
cares if you have autism?
but I didn't say but I thought no, well, hold on. Now that's a fucking juggle, isn't it? Like that's a juggle of what I said.
No,
No, it
no,
is.
it isn't.
No, it's a huge juggle. You said he's doing the Kubrick stare. I said I thought he did the Kubrick stare because he's an autist and I didn't think he was doing the Kubrick stare. I thought he was just so socially awkward because of his autism that he like couldn't look at things properly.
No, because he's making eye contact with the fucking. I'm here. I'm
Yeah,
posting it.
that's
I'm posting it to Discord right now. All right, so that motherfucker
Oh my
right
God.
there, like he's
you're
he's
yeah.
intentionally doing the thing.
You think it's intentional. See, I didn't think that was intentional. I thought he just didn't know how to fucking do shit. I thought he lacked
No,
that emotional intelligence because of his neurodivergence.
no,
Oh.
no.
See, now hold on. When you say like that doesn't excuse, I'm not saying anything he does because of his autism is excusable. What I am saying is I thought that his piss poor social moves and his behavior set was derivative of neurodivergence of a middling degree. And that also on top of that, he has decided to be an active asshole. Because
Check
Right,
two.
which
we can
is
hear
the
you.
whole point. Which
Oh
is the
hell
whole
yeah!
point. It doesn't fucking matter what his deal is.
But it does when I'm trying like I'm
No,
having it does because I
it
am talking about two
doesn't.
separate things. I'm talking about two separate things. You give a pass to a neurodivergent person who might be
No, you
socially
don't.
awkward. Yeah, if they're socially awkward, that's the
But
part
you
you pass.
shouldn't.
Why?
You
That's not
shouldn't.
fair. That's not fair. No, you don't criticize them on the fucking. You don't criticize the disability on the disabilities terms if they happen to have a comorbidity of being a fucking asshole and having a disability. You criticize the asshole behavior.
Yeah,
Right,
there's enough to criticize.
but you also need to like sincerely, you need to address it directly with that person. If that's somebody that you're going to have any kind of long lasting contact with, like you need to address it because here's the thing, like just because like certain things don't seem natural to you, like putting on a mask, like or certain things just maybe are bothersome to you. Like just because something's different doesn't mean it's wrong.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying though. That's my point. The point is like you don't criticize him on the lines like that's why I thought he did all that stuff. I thought he did that because of his neurodivergence, and then like the asshole stuff is he's like we have plenty of fans
That's
who
on
have
him.
autism.
So,
We have
But
plenty of fans who have autism who don't also choose to behave like an asshole because the part that they can't
oh,
control is the autism.
100%.
Like
One,
that's
and that's why I was saying earlier that like you shouldn't give him a free pass because of any
well, no,
neurodivergent like
I
beach tag he might have purchased.
I am only if the actual weirdness that he exhibits is a function of the neurodivergence. However, his assholism is wholly a disability he has chose to take on as if he had cut up his own arm. He has that coming. So whatever criticism he derives from being an asshole, if we're willing to call that a disability, which I'm not, but for the sake of argument, if the assaholic diagnosis, you know,
Douchebaggery,
yeah,
one might say.
the douchebaggery is a self-inflicted comorbidity. Ergo, I don't have to feel. And you know what this gets back to? This gets exactly back to what I've been on. He chooses to be an asshole and then goes out and cries when people are mean to him for being an asshole. That's the part of his existence I allege that he has chosen. He has made an active decision to be that shitty. So whatever happens to him is a cost of doing business in the world of being shitty. It does. There's no victimhood in Ben Shapiro on that grounds. If you're telling
If
me,
people aren't nice to you when you're a pustulant, like syphilitic sore on a dick
right,
on purpose,
on purpose,
if people aren't nice to your pustulant self when you're trying to get like some tacos around the corner, hey buddy, that's on you.
yeah, that is part of my line of responsibility for your own goddamn actions. Him being weird in normal like social terms, I had attributed like his interpersonal like weirdness. That part I attributed to neurodivergence, which you're telling me I might be wrong on. Sounds like I am wrong on it, in which case everything about him is derivative of his assaholic behavior, so fuck him twice. But
I'm not saying I'm wrong. I'm just saying that's no excuse.
it's like when they bully Trump for being an old man, right? I don't like when they bully Trump for being an old man. I'm going to be an old man one day. I don't think that's a grounds to bully someone on. There are a ton of things Trump does that is fair game.
yeah, there's more than enough things. You
The
don't
man,
need to include the old.
yeah, the man is a target-rich environment. Attacking him for being an old man is pretty fucking low, and it's pretty undignified. And this is coming from me.
He's super old. He's not what most would consider conventionally attractive.
He's not healthy.
He's not very smart.
He's very much a 300-pound man masquerading as a 200-pound man.
And
He's the
but
largest Darth Vader ever.
and
is a
he
large
doesn't
boy.
he doesn't know how to stand. But none of those things in and of themselves are make fun worthy. Because there might be people that don't suck shit that also have those qualities.
Yeah, large boys who walk funny. That's not a reason to pick on him. You know what is a reason to pick on him? All the rapes.
Did you guys see that?
That's
You
a
guys see
good
that?
reason.
Did you guys see that picture where it's the fucking hair sniffing Biden photoshopped into right behind
Yeah.
Trump?
Oh my god, it's LG!
He's here.
This shit is kind of working, I think. How does this shit sound right now?
That's pretty good. Don't
Good.
fuck it up.
Okay, good. I'm standing exactly where I'm standing. I went to the mountains, so it's acting really fucked up.
It's really fucking good, actually. Can you just always go in the mountains?
Well, I'm right under I think I'm right under the thing. There's this crappy Wi-Fi.
Stay
It's
under the thing for the rest of your life, LG. Never
Yeah,
go home.
Never.
Never go on the porch. Like, just never go to check on the cicadas or the begonias. Fucking never.
You
Just
you are
stay
kind
in
of-
that mountain shadow.
You kind of are in the shit because literally both of your bosses at your 2 side hustles are telling you not to fucking move from that spot. You have walked in, you have fucked up, my friend, because you have now
Well,
established it's possible.
it's nice. It's nice to visit down here, but I don't think I can stay down here. Like this is kind of a fucked up town. Like
Where are you at?
it's
Wait,
Helga, Georgia.
Helga,
wait, but
Georgia?
nobody has told me. Excuse me, Dan. Nobody has told me how to record off of Discord.
I
So
just did.
while
I
this
did
would
earlier.
be,
I did earlier. I
you
literally,
totally didn't.
I
You were
totally
like,
did.
"Oh, let me get back to you
Jenk
on
was
that."
there. Jenk was there. Jenk was there. He heard me.
Yeah, he definitely attempted. I don't know how effective
Oh
it
my fucking
was.
god. All right, time out, everybody. We
No,
were
it
supposed to talk.
doesn't. No, it doesn't matter because you know what? Like, no matter. Oh God, no! Now it stopped.
Nope. 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 Whoa, sharing the screen. Oh, but we're
Oh
going live.
wait. No, you've got shit. Okay.
Going live. Showing the magic here, people. This is how you do Sons of Tree Air. This is how you do this shit.
Well, no.
It's
Okay,
right
so I
there.
just
You make
figured
it
out
sing.
that I had to turn my mic back on in OBS.
Yes, that is a crucial mistake. It has
Oh,
definitely never been made by anyone on the Sons of Trier,
let's
and
not
definitely
lie.
not me. Like 2 or 3 times in our first couple of recording sessions.
Let's not lie. We have entire episodes where somebody's mic was off.
It's
Well,
true.
no, but I thought, well, my mic was working during the Discord portion, and but like I don't even know how it happened, but apparently it's picking up oh I need to transition that. No, where's the other one? God damn it.
So yes, this is complicated. What?
Sorry, I got like hooked on the visuals for the it's not broadcasting right now, but it's keeping track of it. Like I guess it's putting out like a little movie thing.
I'm
Is it a
putting out a
picture?
little movie thing.
Is it a picture? Is it a picture of the little movie clapboard?
No, it's the damn shorty okay, but I had the mindful wellness logo on it. Like
Damn shoddy.
it
Okay.
fell off the side. So oh wait,
Okay.
I thought I shared it in the in oh all right.
Here's
I'll,
the here's
I'll
the
That
share
thing.
it.
Biden, that Biden, that
I'm gonna
Biden
shut
should have
my
taken
mic
bucks. That
for a
was
second.
great.
Here's the secret. You go to scenes, you create a scene. You go to sources, you make a window capture. That window capture, in this case, is the Discord. You capture the window and then it will broadcast. That's it.
Yo.
Wait, but no, but I have been keeping the sources and the scenes completely separate.
You should definitely put all your sources into one scene.
Are you sure? Because I like having a lot of like really fiddly control over shit.
I mean, if you have pre-recorded content you're going to broadcast, you should definitely have multiple scenes. Because you need to be able to flip which scene and deploy the pre-recorded content. But for what
I'm
we do
talking about
here,
live.
yeah, for what we do here, I don't do that. I can
Really,
do
you
that.
just have everything going through scenes.
Everything
Yep.
going through
All
one
through
scene.
one pipe.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah, because if you have
Yeah.
multiple scenes, you risk cutting off audio from a different source.
I need to.
The only reason I would use a scene is if we had made our own pre-recorded content we needed to deploy for like an act break or something, or if we wanted to do I don't know, like if we wanted to do like interstitials on a potential joint Mindful Wellness Sons of Trier channel on Twitch. right? If we were to do stuff like that, we would want multiple scenes to be able to deploy those interstitials at certain times. But otherwise, no, we want one scene.
You guys over there got like 4 and 5 hour loops of like dope shit that they leave up when they're not fucking with it.
We should. We really should. We really should be doing that, but I'm just incredibly lazy.
And I, not for nothing, like LG, when I take apart like our quote unquote good episodes, like if I were a really ruthless editor, like I mean, I could probably get it down to 30. Like,
hell yeah.
But
no, chop that shit to fucking bits. That's what's up. Chop it to fucking bits. Slap some fucking.
The problem is I've been listening to some recent episodes and it's like I want to get them like super tight, but there's shit that needs to get cut that is so fucking funny. I want it to be a standalone. And I don't know what to do with it.
That sounds like people might have been saying some rude shit on that program. Nobody said anything rude on there, did they?
No.
I was thinking I was gonna get some fucking
Rudy, Juliana, give me up.
I was thinking I was gonna get some interesting content down here because back in the day, when we was young and hip and partied a lot, we used to go to Helen, Georgia all the time. It's like a little tourist town. It's like right around here. It's right at the road from where we are now. But it's like a fake German Bavarian town in Georgia where white people own businesses.
Why they want to be German.
Yeah, it's weird. It's cute, it's just kind of strange. Like white people own businesses and restaurants and stuff where they make the building look like a little alpine cottage. And they wear lederhosen and cook spätzle and shit. Yeah, it's interesting, I had no idea why that's what they chose to make the town, to make it German. But we used to really enjoy going there. It was really funny a lot. So now, we're old. We're like, let's try something new. So this time we went to Helga, Georgia. This is all Viking shit, which kind of just now starting to really notice the similarities. There's bikers constantly in both towns. There's a lot of bikers here.
Weird.
Yeah, everything is super Nordic. There's lightning
bolts. Those bikers have their hair cut to to the skin?
Oh yeah, and they got the big Viking beards.
A lot of runes.
Oh yeah, Celtic stuff. Yeah,
any
Druid
double
stuff.
lightning bolts by chance?
Man, there is lightning bolts and eagles and all kinds of dope looking shit all over the place. Oh, man.
Stuff.
Fucking Valkyries. With fucking
for right
standing on mountains, all this shit. This is awesome.
Eagles and lightning bolts.
Yeah, it's like all this fucking Odin shit, like popping off, like constantly everywhere. And Helen, Georgia is famous for, that's where you go to do Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
This place, they said they got some kind of festival. They said they got some kind of festival popping off tomorrow that we got here just in time for. It sounds like it could be better than Oktoberfest. It's called the Blood Eagle Festival. I don't know exactly what they're really excited about it. I mean, they are pumped. The Helgans.
Huh.
So if you're out there, if you're out there living in the southeast and you're tired of going to corny old German Bavarian Helen, Georgia, check this out. I think this might be like the next level shit, right? Like
they don't
Helga,
celebrate
Georgia.
July 4th, they celebrate July 14th and then never say why.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I mean they still got their patriotic decorations up. It's like all these giant like runic flags. Like I think there's some American flag imagery in there, some Georgia flag imagery. I think they're keeping it, keeping it grounded, in the current day, but everything's Viking shit. Really, really wild.
Except for the thin blue lines.
No, that's a weird thing about it. Helen, Georgia, just typical Georgia tourist town. You do see cops. Here, we haven't actually seen a single cop. It's weird, you know.
That is weird.
Um, it's it's almost like they're, they're just all sorry.
Having
Shout out
trouble
to anybody.
having trouble with this bit, huh?
Shout out to anybody in the audience that has been to Helen, Georgia, which is a tourist town modeled after a Bavarian alpine village.
Yeah.
For some reason. For some reason.
I've never been there, but I do have to admit to suppressing a giggle when I would be driving south and look at the sign and it's like you're on the Powhite Highway.
I would laugh every time
I sure am.
I would drove into Helen. I'm driving it into
Mhm.
Helen.
Just pulling into Helen right now.
I'm pulling out of Helen and I'm pulling into Helen, you know what I'm saying?
I'm saying forget that place. Like Helen out. Helga in. I mean, this is way more metal.
Yeah, sounds like there's a lot of blood and iron going on there, huh?
It's decked out.
Helga,
I mean,
he sounds exotic.
it's
Like
decked
ranch
out.
dressing.
And it is landlocked, so that really kind of, it pours a little water on the thing. But I think the bikers,
Yeah.
I think they really stand in, as like that modern day image of, a bunch of vagrants that just had to be pirates because they were practically fucking cavemen compared to the rest of Europe. Those guys.
Yeah.
I think as a modern day equivalent to the noble, shitty Vikings. I think the bikers, I think they got it down,
Them gals is all
just
right.
always got that way to just ride off and abandon all your responsibilities and show up somewhere else and make someone else miserable. It's just right there.
Right there.
You gotta have that. You gotta have that raiding ship. You gotta have that Harley. I can see it. Starting to get into this Odin shit, man.
Does Valhalla await you when you die?
I'm
His
starting to get into this. I'll tell you this. I'm
LG,
starting to.
LG's Viking phase.
Yep.
I'm saying I'm getting Viking pilled. I'm starting to get in. It's funny. I'm starting to get into this Viking shit in a way that I never would have. In a way that I never would have got into like Germany or European shit. Okay, that's worth noting, right? Like,
Yeah.
when you think about Germany, if you were trying to get people to appreciate and celebrate the culture of Germany for
Right.
some reason, let's just say that for some reason you
Every
wanted
July
for
14th and April 20th.
yeah, you were just all about it. You were telling your friends, we need to, read about Germany. If you was into it, and then they got into it with you, and they were like, well, this sucks. These guys wear lederhosen all the time. Like the modern era is kind of cool with the dance music, and then you're like, no, that shit is degenerate. You guys need to read about real Germany, like the good Germany. And then they kept
Well,
reading
none
about
of
it.
it is
Like,
real.
but their impression would be that it sucks, boring, and it's not really that much more interesting
Right.
than any
And
other European country.
it's more about the impression and how that shapes the mind and control.
Yeah. Those guys,
But
they're not going to be
what I will
Germany.
tell you is if you're legit interested in like the Norse shit without the Nazism, talk to me.
I think a lot of young people that wouldn't be able to get turned on to Germany are going to get turned on to Viking shit. I think is that already happening? Is that a thing?
For some.
No, I mean it's a legit alternative to Christianity if that was your former jam.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. All kidding aside, I personally just like on this show and the other show, whenever we do politics, I always really enjoy thinking about the fact that that is dope and interesting as a lot of it is, the people that often become interested in it, it is for that reason. It's because they romanticize the literal worst, least interesting thing about these people, the rating.
Yeah.
And they also completely obsess over it. In some cases, even in denial that it's like a Nordic or white supremacy narrative. Like, is the reason that they're interested in it, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's might makes right libertarian horseshit is what draws them to it. It isn't even really like
True
that
to Viking
historically
culture.
valid.
Yeah, Odin would have hated you.
No, like
Yeah.
it, it's just so funny to me. It's like generation after generation of right wingers try the same shit. Like Hitler was like, well, the youth are engaged, but like I want to do my own shit. They're not engaged enough. What do I like? Oh, Viking shit is badass.
Yeah.
Like, start putting Viking shit everywhere. Isn't there an account where it's when he goes to it's when he goes and gets mad about all the bohemians at the art school, the degenerates, right?
Yeah.
Isn't there some point in there where that's the
Degenerate art.
genesis of the Nordic thing? Like he literally is a dork, like trying to show people like lightning bolts and eagles and shit, and they're like, no, we
Yeah.
like to paint nudes of each other.
Yeah. That's what's cool. That's what's super
We're gonna
cool.
drink. We're gonna drink wine and paint nudes of each other. Adolf, do you want to come? No, I'm going to paint German shepherds and lightning bolts alone in my apartment.
Yeah, I'm going to do cool guy shit. Okay? I'm going out to do some cool guy shit.
Like, yeah, like just as a dork that likes the history and shit. Of course, I love Viking shit, but when we're doing the shows, I most often think about the association with like right wingers grabbing at it to try to have a cool thing for the kids to be into.
All right. I gotta
They're not allowed to appropriate that shit. We're gonna keep that for ourselves. Thank you very much.
we we
So I
we
feel like an Irish feller.
we did just do the fun half. Now we got to talk to serious business because
Uh,
it is coming up to that time where we are going to get more political around here because that is where the ratings lie. Um
yeah, and they're gonna do the thing soon. They keep mailing that shit to my house. They mailed another shit to my house about somebody needs to challenge Trump, and it doesn't say here. They
yeah.
mailed another one.
Anybody
The same.
willing? Y'all motherfuckers gonna do it? So with that in mind, I'm going to spoil it for you. None of us, I think, watched the Republican debate. Did anybody here do it? I didn't.
Uh,
I went to
Yeah.
go see it.
yeah, I didn't.
I,
I was like,
I
no, I
went to
don't
go.
I
think that's
did
gonna be good.
not, and I was blissfully unaware of it until it was already almost over.
I
Okay.
went to go see a clip of I went to go see a clip of Nikki Haley and the Vivek guy arguing because I wanted to see if like it looked like that the news coverage that they got really excited when the two South Indian characters were arguing with each other.
Weird.
Let's see if it looked like they tried to like angle in and catch that like Bollywood drama angle, and it did. They totally did.
Oh, yeah.
They totally were like, "Oh, shit. This is the part where these people are going to argue with each other, like they do in the soap operas that our wives love." Like,
Yeah. So they totally did what we could call a racism, right?
yeah,
Like, I will say this. I did, full disclosure, I did watch a few minutes of it because that's about all I can stomach from these fucking ghouls. Um,
well, I
un.
had to go see the clip of Nikki because Nikki,
Oh, that's your girl,
Nikki's
yeah.
the reason. Yeah, her leaving is the reason we have the power plant. I mean, she wouldn't have cut that deal. McMaster, on the other hand,
Right. Right. McMaster.
McMaster's done things at beach parties that nobody is ever going to find out about.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, we got a sweet club and a nuclear power plant.
What
Everybody won.
what you did have was um you did actually, funny enough, there was a really good question from the Fox moderators. It was essentially like, you, Mike Pence, are up here campaigning on a small budget. Your administration spent more money than fucking ever. What gives? To which Mike Pence had to not even remotely backpedal out of, which was amazing, right? Because I've never actually seen Republicans like call each other on that. They're supposed to
Yeah,
pretend that they slashed the budget.
they fucking mailed checks out and shit. It was awesome. Like,
Yeah,
I got money in the mail and shit.
if I were Mike Pence right now, I would be contemplating suicide.
Yeah.
Because the
Oh,
last people
absolutely.
who are supposed to like me, which is establishment Republican media shills, dunked on me in public, right?
I mean, if he had any sense of shame or anything human like that going for him, I'm sure he already would have committed a very responsible seppuku. But
Yeah,
I
I mean,
mean,
like
like,
I'm saying, like right now, and I mean it. If I were him, I would have, because that would have
did you ever
just
listen?
fucking disheartened me.
Did you ever listen to how he does a different character from Mike Pence, the vice president, on his old radio show?
He's
Yeah,
used to it.
Because he was a radio guy, and he has this show where he does this totally different character that is nothing like Mike Pence, the vice president. It's so dope.
not at all, not at all the same person.
No, it's a different character. It's like a watered down Rush Limbaugh. It's
Yes,
like a guy. It's like a guy that really wants to dunk on welfare queens because he just hates them so much, and he thinks about them all the time. A character that Ronald Reagan invented on his radio show years ago, right? It's like that, except it's like watered down and boring. Whereas Rush was a broadcaster.
I I am not convinced that if Trump missed an opportunity to completely kill one of his opponents last night in political terms.
Oh yeah,
And
Does he need to
realistically,
though? Really?
I mean, if I were him, he's apparently nervous enough that he's got to do all the stunts. He didn't just walk in there swinging his dick. He's nervous enough that he had to try to some kind of stunt to pull people away from others. So he is feeling a little bit of political pressure, which is weird, right? We didn't expect that.
uh,
If you got to pull a stunt like that and then lie about the numbers, you are, you know what I mean? Like he's nervous. And to be fair, he doesn't poll well in primaries. He performs well in primaries, if that makes sense. So people don't like, and it goes back to that thing like people don't want to admit they like Trump, but they like Trump.
yeah.
Um, they want to for the cameras and shit. You got to have that veneer. You don't want to look like a monster. Keep the gaze off of you, and then once the
I
gaze is
don't
off, you
like
go do
him.
the white supremacist shit.
I mean, they like him unless there's some kind of, I don't know, some kind of contrarian moron that has to be something cooler than a regular Republican. Like, it has to be like a log cabin Republican.
Like
If um
like one of the
if you're like
fascists who reasoned out that if Trump is friends with the Clintons, then he's probably not an ally of the hard right in the same way that he would like to think he is. Yeah, one of them.
yeah,
They
let's
exist,
say
by
you're
the way.
somebody,
Very small
let's say,
minority.
let's say you're such an obnoxious contrarian, you have to be a log cabin Republican and hang out in spaces doing liberty stuff all the time. Let's say you're like that.
Are those
Like,
the gay Republicans?
Yeah. So
No,
anyway,
I'm legitimately. I don't know. Legitimately.
log cabin is gay. Yeah,
Okay.
log cabin are the gay Republicans because Lincoln was allegedly a homosexual. We don't know. Probably was. Um, you
Okay.
you've had 40 presidents. One of them was gay. It's that
He
simple.
wasn't a well man. I think we can all agree on that.
So you free the
yeah.
slaves? And all of
I
a
don't know if I
sudden,
want to say that right after saying he was gay. I don't.
Well,
I
no,
don't know.
I mean, I'll clarify by saying that doesn't have anything to do with whether he was gay or not.
Yeah.
But I think I don't know, anybody that looks at the dude should be able to say like, yo, he had a lot of shit going on.
He had a lot of shit going on. Yeah.
So much.
That gun shop
So
move
much.
really ruined his time. Really
But
harshly
even
mellow.
honestly, like that shit should have I think it was probably a relief to him.
Might have been.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Okay. All right, we're derailing. Derailing Dan. Um so with that, again, Mike Pence looked incredibly weak. Vivek, I don't know how to pronounce that guy's last name because I'm not bothering to look it up. The the guy who peddles in brownness when it's convenient and otherwise asserts his social caste when it's convenient. He said a bunch of neo-Nazi shit, which had NBC like deeply disturbed, which they fail to understand that his social caste in the country his parents immigrated from put them in the camp of people who thought Hitler was a really socially innovative guy. Okay, so Vivek having Nazi sympathies is not surprising if you can understand that things can be viewed at through a class lens and not simply a race lens, right? So they said some pretty racist shit about Vivek and his ability to be a complete bourgeoisie piece of shit. Um, Chris Christie was kind enough to not use the N word, but you could tell it was right there floating. He was getting ready to say it. Um, Chris Christie absolutely showing that you can have the body and sexual appeal of a lumpy potato version of Santa and still be a bad person.
These are the political shit in India is to the point. Okay, these are right wingers who their problem with Hitler is they view the concentration camp as too much welfare.
Yes.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
their problem. Why you have to build this big camp?
You figure that
They
social
didn't deserve a
cast.
camp.
What's that?
They didn't deserve a camp.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
They were
camp is
supposed
too
to learn
expensive.
useful skills outside the camp.
We're losing money on this camp.
Right.
That's how right wing this guy and his line of ascent is coming from a political force that has yet to really be felt in our nation, but I feel that it will be soon.
Yeah. Like people don't understand this. The social caste he is from in India is the top. So when
Yeah,
you like attribute person of color status to him, which is reserved for victims of white supremacy,
yeah,
he's not a victim of white supremacy. His parents were perpetrators of high caste supremacy in India, and almost
yeah,
certainly the equivalent of white supremacy in India, right?
yeah,
They were Hindi supremacists who made a shit ton of money and then came here to bank that money in a country that's very favorable to supremacist ideals and money.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, you live in a fascist fuckhole of a state, this is what happens. So,
Our concentration camps are way cheaper than those luxuriant German concentration camps.
right.
Like,
I'm going to go so far. I'm going to say something really inflammatory here. He is what you call a convenient Negro, in that he pretends to be black or brown when it is convenient and otherwise has the full reservation of social caste and class.
Coon, if you will.
You can say that. I went as far as I could go.
I'll help you out there.
If you feel that that is an
That
appropriate
is
term, so
some
be it.
grade A coonery right there.
I will not dispute you on that, but I will say that he is what they call a convenient Negro. He is only brown when it matters, and otherwise he is green because he is wealthy, and people need to start seeing green as a legitimate skin color and the top of the white supremacist pyramid because you can
Nick,
buy your way into it. The best thing to understand about Vivek is that his parents enabled white supremacists to roll all over India. He was part of what you would call the capos. Okay, that's what he is. So
He's a
NBC,
pick me, is what you're saying.
correct. So when these media outlets are disturbed by him repeating right wing rhetoric, it's because they cannot understand the notion of a non white conservative, right? There's a racist barrier to it that will eventually smoke them because we try to attract the right wing element from all countries to tip the scales. We did it with Cuba, and we're doing it with India.
yeah, it,
So,
it it's the perfect, that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna do the same exact play that they always do. It's just the same shit repeating over and over again. First they're gonna say, well, things would have been great in India, but India was ruined by they're trying to do too much for all these people. They're lazy and degenerate.
yeah,
They're gonna say that same shit, the same as the
Bacterial
fucking sob
liberalism.
story, the fucking sob story of the Gazanos in Florida. Oh, boo-hoo, the peasants took my farm away because they're so lazy.
right. It was pretty dramatic. The governor of Arkansas, I guess, was there because he was very former or current, I don't know which. He was very proud of arbitrarily cutting government services, which Arkansas is like tied for 49th or 50th in everything that you don't want to be tied in. Like that, like Somalia, compared to Arkansas, Somalia has a functioning, robust democracy. Okay. So, you know, and it has a great, like, picture every human rights violation attributed to North Korea. It's going on in Arkansas right now, and it has more or less the same population. They still operate under the 3/5 compromise. So Arkansas is kind of like a fucked up place. And I would not be proud. And then, you know, he made some line about cutting 10% of the federal budget, which was very easy to read social services, right? This is a person who's just going to be part of the military industrial complex. He's just a ghoul. He's going to couch it in liberal language, but ultimately, this is just another fucking ghoul that the world does not need. We have too many. We have an oversupply of ghouls in this country. There were other irrelevant candidates, and there were irrelevant candidates who were up there. Notably, the black candidate had a big faux pas. That Senator Scott, when they were like, "Senator, are you bought and paid for?" He's like, "Absolutely." It was amazing. Their version of "Are you corrupted in special interest?" He was like, "Fuck yeah, I am." Wait, no, I mean no.
He
Like,
was honest.
yeah, he was. Well, unfortunately, he was honest because afterwards he was like, "Absolutely." And then they're like, "Senator, you're bought and paid for it?" He's like, "Absolutely not." Shit, I just announced it. So like that was refreshing. But he tried to do this thing that Obama did where it's like, I was a poor black kid, now I'm here. You know, it was like, do you think, like, wind the clock back 15 years when these people were more rational and look at what they said about Obama. Do you think running on the basis of being the black guy in the Republican Party is really going to pay off? Like, we're supposed to, like, somehow NBC has this all distorted. It's disturbing and not racist to believe that Vivek cannot be a white, like, a supremacist, not a white supremacist, but a supremacist on the basis of his skin color. But if I point out the Republicans are racist, and that shit ain't going to go very far in the Republican Party, somehow we get labeled as racist. So, like, understand, we're going to get a lot of fake fucking attacks from libs right now if they hear this, and fuck them. The liberals are also saying some N-word shit out there, by the way. I want to touch on tonight before we're ending. And I understand this episode's running a little long, but fuck it, we're gonna say what needs said. We always do.
Or,
We go. We go hard. Anywho, Senator Scott is trying to run as Obama in a Republican primary, which will not work. I'm sorry, he's just not a legitimate candidate. And then there was Dickless Ron, who, like, how you can go from zero dick to owing people negative, like being in the negative on dick and owing people dick to kick in, is astounding. Dickless Ron did it in spades. Nikki Haley is only notable on that stage because there's only one person on the stage who hasn't fucked her, and that's Mike Pence. Mike Pence doesn't fuck. Everybody else has fucked Nikki Haley. Nikki Haley tried some Hillary Clinton shit, and it's not going to work. The only thing she could do, like, she could, if she would go hard on the "I'm the clearly Trump's favorite candidate" and then release the sex tape, she would win. You're laughing? I'm right. Like, that's the cold truth of it. If she just released a video of her banging Donald Trump, which would, funny enough, take him out of the running because he would be mired in legal and civil disputes, and he just couldn't run physically, right? Because he'd be way too mired and too distracted. And it would also position her as the Trump heir apparent. But it is the best move for her to release the sex tape and own it. Because then she can immediately judo flip into "I'm a born again Christian" at like 57.
Because he would deny the fuck out of it no matter how much it, was real. And he would find a bunch of distracting shit. Like, she's got, I don't care if she was banging him like a screen door. There's no incentive.
Yeah. She was riding that lap like crazy, just wet slaps everywhere. And the point is that if she would release it, they would vote for her in a heartbeat. Because she could literally run on like I'm the candidate that Trump wanted to I'm so good that Trump wanted me. And if he's not going to be able to be president because he's goddamn Democrats, I guess it's got to be me.
Oh, if she was ballsy enough to fucking be like, yeah, I fucked him. Like, yeah, she could pull it off, but I don't think she's like ready to like walk out and grab her nuts on stage.
No, she's weak. She's weak as a person. Like, and I'm calling that right now. If she would do that and just say that she's the only candidate that Trump would want, right there's the proof. Right, I mean, right there's the proof. She's got it. She's got that shit unlocked. There would be Democrats like falling over themselves not only to watch it but then like say sexist shit about her and then also vote for her.
Wasn't qualified to run this
He
shitty ass state down here.
Yeah,
Couldn't even do that.
literally the sexist trope of having to fuck her way into a job and she did it. She just owned the sexist role and she can judo flip it into a victory par excellence. She can do it. She was like, in this sexist world, they say you got to bang your way to the top. Well, I banged second to the top, and now I'm gunning for first. I'm the fucking anti-sexist narrative. You got to vote for me. There will be liberals who will fall for that in a heartbeat because can avoid even discussing
Well,
Cornel West thing.
isn't that exactly what Hillary did, and it backfired on her because she was
Terrible.
a fucking disgusting human being. Like, I
Yeah.
don't see Nikki being that much better.
I'd push back a little bit. People always be like, well, that's what Hillary had to do. I don't think so. I think that Bill had to because he needed somebody to keep him focused on the job for 5 minutes. Like, if you want me to be cold, I
There's
think
one time
they're like, well, it was because of the Clinton name. The Clinton name means nothing outside of Arkansas, and as we've already established, Arkansas is the
Oh,
Somalia of America. So,
and I think if we give like two brain cells to it, the only reason that Bill reached the heights that he did was because he had Hillary with her head shoved up his ass,
puppeting him
like
around.
acting like
Yeah,
a
probably.
bottle rocket,
Yeah.
being like, "Oh, you got to go do this shit so I can be the eminence grise. I can be the power
Yeah.
behind the throne while I'm
My
first
turn.
lady of Arkansas and using literal slave labor in my
Right.
house."
I like
Right.
how she
Yeah.
because
kept trying to come
because
back.
if I back this man up enough and I use his influence to like highlight like, oh, Hillary thinks, I think, then I can ride those coattails and one day it'll be my turn to be
Yeah.
part
Yeah.
of this giant disgusting machine.
If
To fly on the Epstein plane.
if we're if we're gonna be if we're gonna be honest here, right? She already got to be president twice. Why does she need a third term? FDR had to run for his third term. She didn't have to run for her first two. So follow the rules and then maybe we'll talk. Like that's what's going on there. Because if you think Bill was the president, like you have a fucking gross misunderstanding of that relationship. That man was literally a puss hound who had charisma to some degree, and that she just exploited that to be the president without having to win an election, which she's bad at, and she has established she is not good at winning elections, right? Just not that's just not how that works. So yeah, she got to be president twice, so she's good. We're done. We're done with that. We did that. We did 2 terms of Hillary, and I have often praised her willingness to just absolutely murk a right winger. So don't act like I'm not like fine with it. But we did 2 terms of Hillary. That's the problem with the Clintons. So yeah, as far as that debate stage goes, um, as far as that debate stage goes, uh, it's fucking embarrassing. I would be embarrassed to go up there, and then notably, very few of them could say Donald Trump. Very few of them can say DeSantis couldn't even say the words, which you're not going to beat the man without saying the words. You have to. Um, I cannot stress to you how little that guy matters. He is the Kamala Harris of the Republican 24. It's that simple.
Ouch. The Kamala Harris.
He's the Kamala
That's
Harris.
pretty. That's pretty irrelevant.
He is maximum relevant. In fact, that's going on Twitter right the fuck now. DeSantis is to the Republican primary as Kamala was to the Democratic primary.
Yeah,
No
they
lies
want to waste
detected.
more cycles and try to shove us down our throats again.
Yeah.
For
Well,
sure.
the good news is we now know who the vice president is on the Republican side. Right? We've got that on a lock. So RFK Jr. can just fuck off wherever he needs to go because DeSantis is locking that fucking spot up by just being the weak, cowardly bitch who Trump can just order a murder on in public and have zero fucking consequences. He called for a man's execution in public and there's zero fucking consequences. There's just not. That pleasure of the president bullshit, according to Republicans, is that the Republican can openly approve of. You can just literally just approve an extrajudicial murder in public, and the Democrats have been like, yeah, that's cool. That's the thing you can do.
Well, if you can't just threaten an extrajudicial murder in public, then what's even the point of being the president?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess it's just fucking astounding. It's just really, really fucking amazing to me.
Sometimes I'm amazed, and then sometimes I remember that I've been training for this since my youth. Like at one point, it was like early high school. I looked around and I was like, I will never be able to achieve the standard of living I have right now.
Yeah.
Like everything's just gonna get shittier from here on out. And when you're 14 and everything is already shitty, it's a hard fucking realization. But you know what? I wasn't wrong.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. It's pretty fucking incredible. The last bit I want to go into before a little bit of fun. Um, circling back, we did fun. Now we're doing serious stuff. We'll go back to fun in a moment. um, if you're on Twitter right now, prepare for Democrats to feel entitled to use the N word about Cornel West because it's coming.
What?
Oh man.
It's pretty gruesome. They are out in the full woodwork in just every awful Democrat who needs to be arrested and jailed for being them, like just for being themselves, right? That's the crime they've committed, and it's pretty fucking severe, 5 year sentence minimum. Um, they are just out
Get
and
worse with
about.
them.
The lie. So what they're pushing right now at Cornel West is that he owes back child support and back taxes to the tune of a total of $500,000, which I have no doubt in my mind a man who makes as much money as he does owes back taxes. When you are self-employed, you tend to file extensions on paying your taxes and you make installment payments. Okay, they all do
Oh, that's
it.
it. I thought there was gonna be more to it. No, no, yeah, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Having debt is the American way.
Yeah. So there's no surprise that
No
man.
workers don't pay taxes. Come on, quit playing with me.
Yeah. It is. It
You're
is
too
just a
rich to
thing.
pay taxes, and you wanna attack somebody for not paying their taxes. I'm gonna side eye you.
Right. You have a side eye coming because you're literally the thing I'm doing. I'm going to attack him for, and I have no fucking shame. And they're doing it because he's challenging Biden from the left, which is the thing that fucking just like every sensor in their fucking brain is going off that this is a legitimate challenge to him. Good. You should be afraid. You people need to go to the Republican Party. You need to take your trash. You need to take your goddamn garbage, go to the Republican Party, and go get called an F slur and an N slur until you
You think
learn
they're
how to
actually gonna?
behave in
You think they're
public.
gonna say it in public on video though? You think they're gonna say it in HD?
I think they're going to
The,
type it.
Demo- the Democrats?
I think you're going to find Democratic voters saying the N word real soon. I would
Oh
be
hell no!
I would not be shocked if I could like if anybody thinks they can worm into like a Democratic stronghold on an alt on in the DMs and either coax them into saying it or like catch them saying it. Please do and screenshot me. I'm sending that to the fucking papers. I'm gonna let the Republicans have a field day with that one. I'm gonna let them get punched in the face if that's what Democratic voters think of black people. They need to get the punch because they are so ready to fucking say it. It's not even funny.
All right.
They're so fucking ready. They hate him. For a guy who legitimately in the Green Party has no chance of becoming president, the fucking paranoia of a black guy having the audacity not to serve white people at their
The
beck and call.
audacity.
And the dangerous thing he's saying is functionally workers deserve a little more respect. That's it. That's the thing. That's the
The
thing that has
most
them.
dangerous sentence.
Yes. Because it gives you a thought alternative. And they are just fucking enraged. They're just fucking livid right now. And good. And what I would say is this. Oh, I gotta watch my legal here. Um, if you don't feel like voting for them and punishing them for being fucking racist, good. Do it. And then remind them it's their fault.
They're still going to blame that you're a young liberal and
Yep.
never voted anyway and blah, blah, blah.
I can tell you how I'm voting, and it's probably Cornell West just to spite them both. Fuck them. And if they're like, vote for Cornell, vote for. Okay, then that's your problem. You should have been nicer to me. I can be as immature as you. That's it. Your president could have done something to make me fucking willing to get my ass up and vote for him. And you could be nicer.
Could have did something, anything at all.
Yeah,
He didn't do nothing.
he did
Zero.
nothing. He fucking
Actually, he
do
did
nothing.
worse than nothing. He did actual damage. If he did nothing, we would be lucky.
Yeah.
Instead, he's like, fund the cops.
Fund the cops.
Don't defund them. Fund them. I'm so smart. Pat himself on the back. That was the most clever thing I could have came up with. Deserve a medal for that performance.
All right, I'll pretend to be the lead up thing. Dun, 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 dun,
Actually,
dun, dun. You're supposed to be talking right now, MJP.
I am.
Dun, 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 dun,
yeah.
Okay.
dun, dun. Dun,
Oh,
dun,
the
dun,
president.
dun, dun, dun,
Oh yeah, yeah.
dun.
I'm just gonna smell her. I'm gonna smell her real quick. Gonna give a little quick sniff.
Hey man,
Ah, that's fresh.
I just want to give Lady Freedom a whiff.
You're not gonna last very long. I'm coming for you. Lady Liberty.
Oh man, hey Lady Liberty, man, come here. I want to give you a whiff,
I'm just
man.
gonna
Come
jail
on,
some
man.
journalists.
Come on, man. I'm gonna fucking. I just want to fucking. Let me get up in there, get that copper out of that dress, girl. I'm gonna sell that copper and give you a whiff. It'll be all right. You'll have a fun time. Come on, man. Hey, come on, man. Hey, I just wanna take a little sniffy up there.
Just one more drilling permit. It's all good.
Come on, baby. Just one more drilling permit. Don't
Climate
fucking take it
climate
deep.
change is real, but one more drilling permit.
Yeah,
That's all I'm asking.
come on, man. That's all I'm asking for. I'm just asking. Don't be a tease, baby. Come on, baby. Don't be a tease.
And
Come
so
on.
it'd be playing some Ryan McKnight.
Look,
Baby,
I,
please, baby,
I just
please, please, baby, please.
let Corn Pop and
One
I
more
hit it
drilling
from the back.
permit.
That's all. Let me get that copper out of there, girl. I can sell that copper, girl. We can go on a vacation. We'll go to Daytona Beach, girl. Oh, okay, okay.
my friend Strom Thurmond's got a fucking yacht.
Hey, come on, man. My friend Strom
You get a
Thurmond's
Strom
got
Thurmond
fucking.
yacht.
Well, I just wanted to call you in here, liberal voters. I noticed that your department is churning out a lot of content that has the N word scratched out. Um, and you've got a lot of dart boards up of a black guy, and you're throwing darts at it and screaming a lot of slurs. Okay,
He
a
just said
lot.
it's okay because he knows Obama.
Listen, I don't know how to tell you this. Okay, I don't know how to tell you this at all. But having one black friend doesn't entitle you to say racial slurs. And the N word pass is fictional.
All the
It's
all
bait.
the slurs, and all the votes.
It's bait. Do not,
What
do
Sure,
about
not.
this N word? What about this N word card I had printed off and given to me?
It is fake.
I
N
have
word's
I
fake.
have the perfect card for this. You ain't black. Play it face down. No,
I
play it face up in
play
attack position.
play Black Lotus.
You ain't black.
You ain't Black Lotus. Oh God, there's
Hey,
a
Black
proxy
Lotus.
coming.
That's good. So good.
Oh my God. Oh fuck, you made me do it. We're doing it live right now. Doing it live right now.
Listen, Mac. Maybe I should do a where I pretend to be Biden.
Oh no.
I do a good Biden.
He had to do it to him.
You did it. You totally melted my brain with that one. You ain't Black Lotus.
You ain't Black Lotus.
Oh man, they got one with
It's
him.
like the movie Us.
Yes. Anywho, anyway, Democrats, I need you to you're at a 10 and I need it at a 2 right now, pal. You're at a 10, I need a 2. You're at a 10, I need a 2. Your department is really it's really getting spicy here. It's
They
really getting
going hard in
spicy.
the paint.
You're going very hard right now. You're going extremely hard right now, and I need you to pull it back, okay? I need you to take that. You can have one. I'll let you have one picture of Mr. West that you could throw darts at. One. One. I said one. Okay, I don't care what your steward said. One. I don't care what your steward. I noticed that right now you're worried about union representation, and otherwise you have a pretty big disdain for it. Okay, I'm not saying that's suspicious. I'm not saying this is bullshit, but it's bullshit. Okay. All right. Hey, could you send the Republicans in here and then give me the fire marshal? Yeah. No reason. Just tell him that in 10 minutes, tell him you thought the room smelled like kerosene and you thought that was weird. Absolve yourself. Yeah, absolve yourself. Right. I got to do something here. Don't worry about it. Don't think too hard about this. Okay. All right. See, there you go. We did a little HR Giger for you. You haven't had that in a while. You love it, folks. You do love it.
Mm.
So this has been the Sons of Tree Air. Let me get the wording on Black Lotus because that is coming both first to the Discord and then it's coming to Twitter and Blue Sky.
You ain't Black Lotus.
Yes.
Black Lotus.
The You Ain't Black Lotus. I don't want Black Lotus.
You can't stop him, folks.
You can't stop this train right now. You heard it here first. Super, super spicy meme content from this guy, motherfucker, right here.
Adds only 3 black mana.
No. Let it happen.
No, 3 white.
Let it happen. Oh, we got to go to Scryfall because I need the Oracle text. It's got to be in the modern card frame. That's right. And okay, all right. We love you. I'm going to stop in the stream right now, typing something so it'll recognize someone.